Alright, so as we all know that the term vibe coding has become very popular in this AI era. So basically, vibe coding, if you didn't know, is a process where engineers or any individual, they pretty much use AI to generate their entire code, and all you have to do is mainly just keep writing your prompts, and AI is going to keep generating whatever you desire in the form of code, ultimately building your projects, 90% of which is going to be generated by AI, and all you have to do is sit and keep demanding your requests in an iterative fashion. So I just stumbled upon this post where they posted, I blew $417 on Claude code to build a word game, and here's the brutal truth. So if I had to give you a TLDR, the OP spent $417 to build a game, which I think is pretty cool. We're also going to explore it soon, and they found it pretty useful as well, because the game Claude ultimately ended up shipping would have actually costed them $2,000 to $3,000 had they freelanced it by somebody else. So that's a pretty huge difference, and the OP pretty much saved quite a lot of money. So over here it says, alright, so a few weeks ago I had this idea for a Scrabble style game and thought, why not try one of these fancy AI coding assistants. Fast forward through a lot of prompting, $417 in Claude credits, and enough coffee to kill a small horse. I have finally got a working game called Letter Links. Now if I actually open this game up, you'll realize it's pretty cool. So basically the game is where you place letter tiles on a board, and then you form words out of those letters and you get points, and then there are additional features like leaderboards and different themes and bonus challenges. So if I open the project, and you can see over here there's a quick pop-up explaining how the game works, I can start playing. You can see that cool animation, all of this created using Claude, or at least most of them created using Claude. So you can see how professional and aesthetic and sleek this entire web page looks, and it's pretty crazy to think Claude was able to deliver all of this entirely on its own. So basically it's a word game where I can, let's say, form as many words I can within this style space. So for example, if I put R over here, then I can put, let's say, U over here, then N over here, then I get one word, which is run. So the game is how many words can I fit in within this tiny space, and people with the highest scores, they get their points in the leaderboard, and then there are bonus challenges as well. But you can see how sleek and cool this UI is, how smooth it feels, and it's pretty surprising if you think that Claude made this all on its own. So if I actually go to the Reddit post, it says over here the good parts of using Claude, where it actually nailed the implementation. So I literally started with make a Scrabble like game, and apparently Claude was able to understand that and spit out working code right away from the start. So the OP didn't give any mockups, no wireframes, and just by saying make a Scrabble game, Claude was able to understand the rules and spit out working code. So once I described a feature I wanted, like skill levels that show progress, Claude would run with it. Ultimately, I think the finished result is pretty slick, and while there are some bugs, I'm proud of what Claude and I did together. So debugging that didn't always completely suck. When stuff broke, which was constant, conversations often went like, the orange multiplier badges are showing the wrong number. Then Claude dumps the exact code and location and fix, and this happened often enough to make me not throw my laptop out of the window. So pretty cool. Seems like Claude was pretty persistent with its responses when it came to spitting out code and taking the user's continuous prompt and being able to locate and fix issues. But the bad parts, as with every AI tool, there are bad parts. So the main highlight of the bad parts is the context part. So Claude, as his code base grew, Claude wasn't able to retrieve context of the code base as the OP kept on giving in more requirements. So for example, once the code base hit about 15k lines, Claude basically became that friend who keeps asking you to repeat the story you just told. So when he used to say, fix the bug in the theme detection, Claude used to say, what theme detection? And he used to say, the one we have been working on for the past week. So they had to use the Claude Compact feature more and more frequently. So if we just check out what's Claude Compact, let's see, what is Claude Compact? So Claude Compact refers to Anthropic's fastest and most compact model, Claude 3 HiQ, designed for near instant responsiveness and simple queries. Alright. So after using all that, they found it not so good. And the other irritating part was Claude saying, I found the issue. It's definitely this line right here. Then it implements the fix, but the bug still exists. So Claude repeatedly kept doing this, saying that it found the issue, tried to fix it, but it was not fixing the actual issue. And this was causing a spiral and iterative nature, causing the OP to go to and fro, back and forth, on and on again, burning credits and costing more money. So what really pissed me off was the cost scaled. In the first week, Claude was able to build most of the game logic for $100, but in the last week, one stupid animation fix cost me $20 because Claude needed to relearn the entire code base. So the context part when it comes to Claude or any AI model in general is an issue at the moment. The ability to retain higher and higher context is what most AI models need, because once they achieve that, they can literally do anything, or at least most of anything. So the biggest "I'm never doing this again but probably will" part was testing. What testing? Every single change had to be manually tested by me. Claude can write code all day but can't click a button to see if it works. That's true because I had taken the subscription of Replit, and I was also trying to create a huge project, but the testing part really got me irritated because the moment Replit was making a small change in a small feature, I had to test the whole thing out to reach that feature and then test that feature out, and if it didn't work, I had to again ask Replit to fix it and reiterate this entire process over and over again, which was quite annoying. So yeah, even with Replit, when I asked it to write the tests on its own, or even if not write the test, just test the feature on your own, somehow Replit also wasn't able to do that. So I manually had to do the testing, which was pretty irritating. So all of that testing and all, it turned to Claude writes code, I test, I report issues, Claude apologizes and tries again, and this keeps repeating until I'm considering a career change. Then in the end, they say, was it worth it? Well, for $470, honestly, yeah. A decent freelancer would have charged me $2,000 to $3,000 minimum. Also, I plan to use this in my business, so it's company money, not mine, but it wasn't the magical experience they sell in the ads. Think of Claude as that junior dev who sometimes has brilliant ideas but also needs constant supervision and occasionally sets your project on fires. Next time I'll split everything into tiny modules from day one, keep a separate doc with all the architecture decisions, set a hard budget per feature, and lower my expectations substantially. So if you are wondering how you can get started with vibe coding and create games like this using Claude or anything else, well, the first thing I would say is at least you should have some coding experience, because otherwise you'll be stuck in this manual testing loop, which is going to irritate you so much. But if you instead understand how to code, you can point out certain aspects and tell the AI exactly where in the code the issue is, so you can boil down to a specific context and fix that faster, rather than having the AI to go through the entire application and test it and try to fix the issue over and over again. So if you're wondering how to create games or projects like this that can be considerably large, then you can use something called the Cursor IDE, which is kind of a VS Code, which is basically a VS Code wrapper. So if I search for Cursor IDE, you can see Cursor, the AI editor. So this is a wrapper around VS Code pretty much. So this is a very cool editor. I also use this. Over here, there's this chat and compose button. Basically, you can select any part of your code, click Command plus L, and then you get this AI support feature where you can ask questions about the part you have selected or highlighted in the code editor to the AI, or you can use the composer and you can ask AI to work with your entire code base. So with Cursor, you can basically use it like VS Code, but with AI support right in your code editor to create projects like this. And this will also have the entire context of your code base. And at the same time, you can also code hands-on while using the help of AI, because this will ensure you have the context and the knowledge of the code base along with the AI. This is going to ensure that you also understand the code and you direct or guide AI to build and ship things faster. So yeah, do check out Cursor because they also have this multi-model feature. So if you can see over here, you can click on this part over here and select between different models to work on your code base. So Cursor is a pretty cool tool. I use it even in my work as well as personally, and it has helped me quite a lot. So yeah, seems like vibe coding is becoming a very popular thing. And as with everything, rather than being afraid about your job getting replaced, you should be more confident on the fact that you can use something like this to build something amazing, become more creative, and push yourself further into doing greater things. So yeah, that's all for the video. If you found it insightful, drop a like and subscribe for more.